and welcome to I'm Making a Monster. Let's go with the content warnings. I played a demo of this, so I know what I'm getting into. But content warnings: grief, alcohol consumption. I had to check that I'm not muted. Um, Using distractions to run from issues, self-neglect, discussions of therapy and optional therapy visits, friend-stage intervention in some routes. I don't know what route we're gonna end up on, but these are the things that you have to keep in mind. But without further ado, let us go and start making a monster. I'll leave the name Ophir Sonnet. Goes for a walk, they like walk in the park, they don't want anyone to talk to them. Their hair gets wet from the rain, or if hadn't realized it was raining, they keep walking. Did I keep it a data? Keep it data. Ophir Sonnet has been shut in their room for a month. They have not eaten a proper meal in more than a week. They have only drunk water under extreme duress. Today, Ophir opens the door to their room of their own volition, an occurrence their friends will be equally excited and nervous about, and stumbles from its dark depths with a dehydrated wobble to their step. Fumbling for some scrap paper and tearing the lid off a pen, Ophir drops onto a stool and begins to sketch. Fervor and ink spatter onto page after page in unsteady strokes. I think, yeah, be a little bit loud. Hours later. After many hours, during which friends come over and find Ophir, are relieved to see them out of their room, and they're distraught again to find Ophir unable to tear themselves from work. Ophir holds up a final page of formulas and diagrams. Exclaim in triumph or wallow in despair. I think I'd be wallowing in despair if I was like doing math, I'm not gonna lie. No, they say. I'm not certain it can be done. Ophir slumps on their stool, resting their forehead against the desk. What can't be done? Ophir jumps at the sound, almost falling over in the process. They had not noticed that a friend had crept into their kitchen while they worked. Abella leans from the doorway, mixing bowl in hand, trying to hide her worry behind a smile. Ophir picks themselves up. They've never failed before, so why start doubting themselves now? Oh, Abella, they say, I'm trying to make something unlike anything I've ever made. Abella continues stirring, waiting. She has played this game before. Make something beautiful, make something horrific, make something redemptive, make something reprehensible. Beautiful? I'm making Ophir continues, something beautiful. Abella raises an eyebrow. Tell her the truth. I'm making a monster. Abella nods, trying to hide her mounting concern. Abella leaves shortly after that, depositing a salad Ophir promised to eat onto their work table. Eat. Ophir pauses their work to swallow a few bites of salad. They're not sure if they've eaten anything else today. It is hard to pull themselves from work, but they realize that they need food or they will lack the strength to complete it. After eating more salad, they examine their plans. Creating a living being is an exhausting, complex venture, but Ophir is nothing if not tenacious. They pursued their lifeless exile with the same resolve they now turn to their work. Nothing will make Ophir waver from their task. They are making a monster. But where to start? A monster needs many parts. The skeleton, the nervous system, the skin. The skeleton, probably? It's always safe to start with the base. Ophir pulls out their notes on forming the monster's bones. Ophir considers the best way to build a monster's bones. Necromancy, plant magic, mechatronics. Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably lean to mechatronics or plant magic. Mm, plant? Using plant magic to make the monster skeleton could work. A skeleton of living wood could be supple and strong. Yes, it could work quite nicely. Now just to rem- Now just to determine how to acquire plants with the properties they'd need. Gather the wood. Grow the wood. With enough time and effort, Ophir can work out a way of accelerating plant growth to cultivate an entire living skeleton. It'll be slower than finding what to use, but Ophir can ensure quality is up to the precise standards. Ophir estimates this should take them 5 months to complete. Ooh, after a month of work. After a month of work, Abella visits again. She warily looks around the lab Ophir has set up. So, how's the monster coming along? It's going well. Abella, help me. Oh, it's going quite well. I'm making excellent progress on the monster's bones. I see, says Abella, fighting to maintain a neutral tone. She takes a breath. It's warm out today. How about we go for a walk? Go for a walk. Yeah, okay, Ophir says, standing from their stool. Let me just grab a coat. You don't need a coat. It's June. Ophir looks over from the closet they were rustling in. They furrow their brows. June? Mm-hmm. It's probably for the best that Ophir is leaving the apartment. Abella brings Ophir to a park they used to frequent before. Well before. She was right. The weather is gorgeous. A warm breeze ruffles through the trees. A warm breeze ruffles through the tree canopy that frames the worn path the two walk along. Ophir and Abella catch up on small things. Max has developed a spell to remove Axe's earwax. Oh, Corey has joined a jazz band. Ophir slowly realizes that they miss their friends. Asked to meet again. This was really nice, Abella. Thanks for dragging me outside. Would it be alright if we did something like this again? A huge grin breaks across Abella's face. Of course, I'll see you soon. Ophir is into the second month of their work and they hit a snag. The wooden bones aren't connecting as planned. They'll need to figure out a new strategy for attaching them, so we'll add a month to their work estimate. Oh, another friend. Ophir is in the middle of some complicated calculations when Corey bounced through their front door unannounced. Maybe Ophir should start locking it. You coming to the concert? Corey asks. What concert? Oh, come on, Corey groans. I joined a jazz band? We're doing a midsummer performance? Any of this ringing any bells? I know you joined be honest. Not in the least, sorry. Corey sighs loudly. We're performing July 21st. Here's a ticket. A small rectangular sheet is dropped on Ophir's desk. See you there? Yes. Definitely, Ophir examines the page. They take some time off to support their friend. Sweet, I'll see you then. On the 29th, Ophir arrives at the concert exactly 5 minutes early. Their ticket has an assigned seat, and they are surprised to find that they're in the front row. Abella and Max are already there waiting. They smile when they see Ophir approach. Corey was worried you wouldn't show, but I knew you'd make it, Abella confides. Of course they'd show up. Ophir was also unsure about making it. Say nothing. I'm playing this as me, right? I would go. There was no uncertainty in my decision. This is important to Corey. I think it was just because you've been a bit absent lately, Max explains. Oh, at that, Ophir falls silent. Well, it's great to see you here, Max says with a smile. The concert is fun. The music is a bit loud at times, isn't just supposed to be soothing, but Corey appreciates its energy. Oh, Ophir appreciates its energy. Corey looks like he's having an amazing time. Ophir can't remember when Corey started learning the bass. Was it during? Maybe Ophir will ask Abella about it later. After the show, the three friends and Ophir go back to Max's to celebrate. Ophir is surprised to learn Max moved apartments. When did that happen? Maybe they have been a little overly engrossed in their work. Ophir promises themselves to make more of an effort to spend time with their friends. After a week of struggling with a new flowering plant graft, Ophir finally gets parts of the skeleton working to their satisfaction. They turn to share their breakthrough but the lab is empty. Ophir is still alone. Another month passes. One morning, Ophir is distracted by a knock at the door. This is odd, because most of their friends don't bother knocking. Tentatively, interest draws by the mystery, Ophir crosses the room and cracks it open. Standing on their threshold is Luxme. Luxme? A friend Ophir hasn't seen in more than a year. Wow. She smiles at Ophir a bit nervously. Hi, she says. Do you have a minute? Sure. Of course, please come in. Ophir steps aside, motioning her forward. No need, she says. I just stopped by to see if you're free tonight. I'm showing in an art exhibition, and I wanted to ask if you could make it. Her eyes are hopeful. Sure. That sounds really fun. I'd love to come and see your work. She smiles largely. Amazing. Here's the invitation. She hands Sophia a small card. They raise an eyebrow. Very fancy, they tease. Luxme smiles, a bit embarrassed. I'll see you then, she says. The art exhibition is very cool, if not a bit too formal for Ophir's taste. Several artists are being featured. Luxme's work is a collection of wire statues that move subtly when they're not being watched. Oh? She made weeping angels. It is gorgeously terrifying, yeah, I bet. Ophir spots Abella and Corey, and the three of them walk around commenting on different species and despairing over their prices. Pieces, not species. Oh my god. I'm happy to see you outside your lab, Abella says as the night winds to an end. See you again? Corey asks. Absolutely. I'll see you soon, Ophir says with a smile. They feel both happy and worried to see how much this pleases their friends. There are 3 months left in building the wooden skeleton. Ophir feels like they are on a roll. All the theory is actualizing with an ease that is relieving, unexpected, and entirely pleasing. Ophir realizes that they are ahead of schedule, and they can reduce their work estimate by a month. A month elapses. One day, Ophir looks up from their work to see Abella walking in. I can't read today. She looks at the bones that they have almost finished and immediately looks away. She turns her gaze instead to Ophir. It's the last warm day of the year, she says. Come to the beach with me. Go to the beach. As long as we stop at my favorite cheese shop on the way, Ophir says, getting up from their seat. Deal, Abella replies with a smile. After stopping at the cheese shop to pick up some things to snack on, Ophir and Abella walk along the beach. There's a cool breeze coming off the water. After a bit, they find some large flat rocks to sit on. How are you doing, Ophir? Respond genuinely. Tell her what she wants to hear. Shift the focus to Bella instead. Respond genuinely. Honestly, not so good. The work has been going well, but no matter how much progress I make, there's no sense of accomplishment. Everything feels so desaturated and far away. Abella nods solemnly. No one is expecting you to get over it right away. It's just hard to watch you destroy yourself over this. Ophir lets out a slow breath. I'm trying my best. Abella puts her hand on their shoulder. I know. Work continues with its usual ups and downs, but Ophir can tell the end is in sight. Anticipation rises as they visualize the remaining skeleton parts coming together. A month later, Ophir is working late one night, or is it early one morning, when Max comes barging through their front door. Do I not have any locks? Hello, he says. I need help with some work that's got your name on it. Oh? Ask him to explain. With great pain, Ophir tears their eyes from their diagram they're halfway through drawing. What is it? I'm going to make the best haunted house this world has ever seen, Max declares loudly. Okay. Since when does Max build haunted houses? Agree to hear more? I'm listening, but that doesn't mean I'm agreeing or anything. Okay, wait, let me back up. So, haunted house. What do all haunted houses need? Spiderwebs? Ghosts? No, wrong. Haunted houses need skeletons. Ah, Max exclaims joyfully. And do you know who can make skeletons? Me? Afir sighs. That's right. You can make skeletons, or at least make them move. Actually, I don't know. Can you make or move skeletons? Admit to bone control proficiency. Even if they knew how, they are busy with work. Try desperately to change the topic. Admit to bone control proficiency. I have dabbled in necromancy in the past. Mac- Max beams. See, I knew you'd be perfect for the job. Okay, agree to help. Okay, Ophir concedes. I'll help you with your haunted house skeletons. A huge smile spreads against Max's face. I promise you won't regret it. Side note, I feel like it may not be ethical to use necromancy for skeletons for a haunted house. I feel like there's something quite not right about this. Unless you're in a world where when you die, you're like, hey, I like scary shit. Use my skeleton for Halloween decoration, kind of thing. After a few weeks of work on the synthetic skeletons, okay, there you go, which Ophir actually finds somewhat enlightening and decides to bring concepts from into their own monster crafting, the haunted house is ready. Ophir and Max hide and watch customers scream as they realize the skeletons are moving towards them without strings. The dancing skeletons who offer to waltz in Ophir's favorite. Max likes the one who walks along the ceiling and chatters its teeth. I hate that one. I haven't even seen that one and I don't like that one. All of Max's coworkers are duly impressed, and Ophir is invited to their dinner to celebrate the haunted house's success. It's a really fun evening that feels well earned. Continue. After 5 months, Ophir has finally completed the monster's bones. Let's go! A small thrill flows through them. They step back and examine their work. Yes, it is definitely something beautiful. But their growing smile falters in the face of startling thought. Would she have liked it? I don't know. Yes, of course. Absolutely not. This is a pointless exercise. Sure? Yes, of course she would have liked it. She would have found it beautiful, fascinating, breathtaking. She may even have loved it. Ophir returns to their notes. They need to decide which part of the monster to construct next. The nervous system? After completing the bones and brain, and nervous system. I cannot read. After completing the bones, a brain and nervous system will allow the monster to move and think. Ophir should make it next to ensure it interfaces well with the rest of the body. Ophir ponders what the best material is for the task. Necromancy, Phantomagic, Mechatronics. Oh, can I? Hmm. Can I mix and match? Does that make a difference? Mushroom brain, though. I want to see what happens if I mix and match. An inorganic computer brain would grant versatility and durability. It is also probably the most straightforward option. Finding computer parts to use could pose a challenge, though. Find computer parts, build computer parts. Ophir has never built a supercomputer and equipped it with an adequately sophisticated neural sim before, but they've played around with complex, smaller scope computer projects, and as their teachers used to say, anything is possible with a little or a shit ton of magic. It'll take more time than finding suitable computer parts and code bases, but means Ophir won't need to compromise on their design. Overall, Ophir estimates it would take them 6 months to complete the work. Am I taking the longest possible route to make this? Corey drops by one November afternoon and deposits a cookie on Ophir's desk. You make this? Ophir asks. Corey nods, and Ophir snatches it up and begins untying the loose wrapping. There's more where that came from, Corey laughs. Oh? Ophir asks between mouthful of cookie. We're hanging out at Bella's tonight, and I'm bringing 2 boxes worth. Falling to cookie temptation. As well as you can be, reconnect with friends. Oh! I got an achievement. Is that an invitation? Corey smiles. Do you want the cookies or not? Absolutely, I want the cookies. Corey's smile widens and a few notches. I'll see you tonight then. Ophir arrives at Bella's apartment that evening. They hesitate for a moment. They haven't been here since before. They remind themselves that cookies are waiting on the other side of the door and knock. Abella opens the door with a smile. I'm so glad you made it, she said. Abella's apartment looks the same as Ophir remembers. As they walk further in, they see Corey and Max already settled in the living room. The promised cookies are laid out on the coffee table. Ophir spends some time cautiously discussing how things have been. They try not to say too much about the monster. It's not too hard when they keep grabbing more cookies. Max eventually suggests starting a movie, and Ophir glances at the time. Stay for the movie. If they leave now, they could get more work done tonight. But we can get work done tomorrow. Stay for the movie. Ophir settles in to rewatch one of Bella's favorite movies. They feel themselves relaxing by fragments as each minute passes. Corey and Max argue over plot holes and continuity errors, while Bella hushes them during her favorite scenes. It all feels so warm and familiar, and it stirs an ache in their heart. There's too much missing from this picture for it to feel complete. But maybe this is what it feels like to pour paint over an old canvas and create something new. It's sad. Ophir hits a breakthrough in their work. The computer's pattern recognition is progressing far above expectation, as are the sensors aiding the peripheral nervous system's response times. The advances put them about a month ahead of schedule. Ophir is ecstatic. Another month lapses. Before Ophir realizes it, the year is over. It's been almost 9 months since. Ophir examines the letter in their hand. It's from Abella. She's inviting them to a New Year's party she's hosting. Behind the open letter, the huge pile of work on her desk looms. They had hoped to finish prototyping a new design for a connecting piece this week. Go to the party. That pile of work isn't going to look after itself. How am I like working while also working on my project? Because how did I get to do this for 9 months? Go to the party. Ophir has been working diligently, keeping long hours and taking little time to rest. They can spare the time for a break this evening. They call up Abella and let her know they'll be able to make it. She sounds very pleased and it makes Ophir smile. Ophir arrives at Abella's party in fancy clothes that pinch a little. Abella opens the door with a huge grin, and Ophir promptly shoves a bottle of champagne in her face. Thank you for inviting me, they say. Of course, Abella exclaims. Thank you for coming. She takes the champagne and then Ophir's coat, showing them inside. What follows is a fun night of reminiscing and declaring next year's promises. The only awkward moment is when someone who's friends of a friend of Ophir's mentions Delaney. The room falls silent briefly as someone else puts this friend of a friend away. Ophir can very clearly hear them having a terse conversation about not mentioning her in Ophir's presence. Ophir resolutely ignores this. Soon after, they notice Max and Abella watching them like they might break into a million pieces. Ophir also resolutely ignores this. Corey comes over with a fresh glass of champagne and they all toast to friendship and everything is fine after that. Or at least that's what Ophir tells themselves. The room counts down to midnight and erupts in cheers and hugs. Ophir sends sparks flying over the champagne flutes, much to a party's enjoyment and Abella's nervousness. She double-checked with Ophir that it was safe to drink at least a dozen times before letting her guest toast. After midnight, many of the guests begin to make their goodbyes and head home. The party slowly grows quiet and warmer. Ooh. Talk to Max, to Corey, Abella, or go home. Abella? This is her party. Ophir finds Abella in the kitchen. She's packing up leftovers and loading the dishwasher. Offer to help? Need any help? Oh no, I'm almost done, Abella replies. Did you have fun tonight? Honestly? It can be hard sometimes, having fun around so many people. It just reminds me that she's not here. Will she die? They rub their face, hiding their expression for a moment. But it was good being here. I'm glad you came anyway. It means a lot to me to have you here, and I'm happy to see you taking a break. Abella pauses for a second. I'm worried about you. It's been more than half a year, and you're still shut up in your lab most days. Worrying about if you're eating, sleeping, it's tiring. I really care about you, and seeing you like this is hard. And I know you need time, and I've given you your space and time, but it's clear that things aren't working as they are. Have you talked to anyone about Delaney? Oh. Explain it'll be different once the work is done, will it? Promise to get help. Thank Abella and leave. Oh boy. Alright. Keeping in mind that we're not perfect. I'm playing this as is, right? So thank Abella and leave. Thank you for hosting this party. I had a really great time. Ophir turns and walks out of the kitchen. Behind them, they hear Abella sigh softly to herself. Ophir doesn't stick around the party for much longer after that. They make the social, obligated, polite goodbyes and slip away out in the cold night. As they trek home, they stuff down their conflicted feelings. It's unfair for their friends to have such expectations. They, of all people, should understand how important Ophir's work is to them. The work progresses steadily. With each milestone reached, they feel themselves growing closer to their creation. Ophir knows how she'll think, what will make her feel. They try not to hope too much about what she'll understand. On January 14th, Ophir realizes it's Abella's birthday tomorrow. They glance over at their phone. It's probably not too late to make plans. Try to do something last minute. Was there a bunny sticker? That's cute. Ophir opens her phone and calls Max. A picks up on the second ring. Am I dead, or is this not a call from the renowned hermit Ophir's sonnet? Make a sarcastic joke. No, this is your landlord. I'm kicking you out in order to fill your place with rubber ducks. The monarch of humor returns at last, cries Max. Yes, thank you. Jokes aside, I'm calling about Abella's birthday. The very birthday that is in fact tomorrow, Max replies. Yes, that's the one. Well, you're in luck, because I've already made all the plans. We're meeting at Corey's tomorrow at 2. Max proceeds to list a series of events that Ophir realizes will take up the entire rest of their afternoon and evening. Agreed to the whole event. Sounds great. I'll be there. Amazing. Abella will be so happy you can make it. Ophir can hear their smile through the phone. Air. Oh, I see. I'm not familiar with this set of pronouns. Ophir has a really enjoyable afternoon with their friends. They play some party games at Corey's and then go see a movie. There are too many aliens and laser beams in the film for Ophir's liking, but Abella loves it. The evening concludes with a visit to Abella's favorite restaurant. Ophir finds themselves smiling and laughing more than they have in a long time. At the end of the evening, Abella gives Ophir a huge hug. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. When Ophir gets home, the scattered pieces of the monsters are waiting for them. Guilt rises suddenly and overwhelming. How could they have been out for so long and just left her like this? They gaze at her part-made form as a sinner before their God, promised to do better, and yet a small part of them starts to wonder if maybe they've already given enough. Afir spends some time testing the nervous system, watching as inputs are translated to outputs and back, watching different parts light up and process information. They layer together webs connecting nodes, creating meaning interlinked. They know, with as much certainty as they had about anything, that the monster can awaken, and when she does, she will know all. Afir is washing up. Some, mostly non-caustic chemicals, had spilled when their phone starts ringing. They finish cleaning everything and check their missed calls. Max has been trying to reach them. Call Max back. Without thinking much of it, Afir calls Max back. Hi, Afir. Glad you called me back. What's up, Max? I was wondering if you're free this afternoon? I wanted to chat. Sure, come by whenever. I'll be home. Great. A few hours later, Afir is pulled out of their work by a knock at the door. They make their way over and find Max holding a large bag. I brought snacks, Max explains. Faye pushes past Afir and begins moving papers to make room to set up. Those are organized, are they? Afir grabs the papers from Max's hand and begins putting them away more delicately. Sorry, but hey, I brought your favorite. Max pulls out containers of assorted cheeses. Alright, you're forgiving. Hand over the cheese. Max obliges, and the two catch up as they compare cheeses from their selection Max brought. After some time, Afir asks, Do you have something specific you wanted to talk about? Yes, actually. I appreciate all the effort you've been putting into looking after yourself, and I wanted to make sure you know that. I was really worried for a really long time. It was hard to see you like that. Max smiles, but Afir can see the pain Faye's trying to hide. It's been so nice seeing you more often. I miss you so much. Ooh. Why can't I do both thanking them for sharing and apologizing? Fuck. um, Maybe if I apologize, they won't want to share because they think I'll make them, like, I'll feel bad if they share. This one also feels kind of like, oh, thanks, and I'm not really like admitting that you hurt the other person. I don't know which one to pick. I think this one. Thanks for letting me know, Max. It means a lot to hear. I just wanted to make sure that I knew how hard it's been for you and how much I appreciate the work you've put in. I'm so happy that you're doing better. But they're not who they once were. I am better, Max, but I don't want to mislead you. I'm not at the place I used to be. I'm not sure I'll ever be there again. I understand, Max says quietly. I don't expect you to be. I'm happy with the you that you are now, and I'm happier letting us in and letting us support you where you need it. They share a hug, and Ophir is definitely not crying at all as they finish the last of the cheese. Definitely not at all. Finally, Max gets up with a smile. This was so nice. Thank you for having me over. Thank you for all the cheeses. My pleasure. See you again soon? Ophir smiles. Definitely. The next month of work is a bit frantic. Ophir hits a snag and works doubly hard to make up for the lost time. They're still aiming to be done in 1 month. I don't think that's going to happen. One day, while in the middle of some very complicated calculations, more math, Ophir gets a text from Abella. It reads, Got a minute? It's important. Then Ophir's phone starts to ring. Pick it up. Hi, Abella, what's up? Hi, is this an alright time? I wanted to revisit our conversation about talking to someone for help. Hear her out? I'm listening, Ophir says tentatively. Thank you, Abella says. I found someone I think could be really great for you. I'm just asking you to give them a try. Then I'm Caribbean. Listen, do as I say and not as I do. Which is to say, I think people should go to therapy. Am I going? No. Is it because I'm scared? Maybe. I'm not looking at that. But sure, let's try. One session, a fear concedes. They know it will make Abella happy. True, go once. Oh boy. A week later, a fear shows up at the therapist's office. They talk to the therapist about the work. They do not mention Delaney. It goes okay. Afir feels a little better by the end of it, but they are a bit stressed about the time they're losing that could be spent working. At the end of the session, the receptionist asks if they'd like to book another one. Book another session, or this is futile, costly, time-consuming endeavor. Listen, in this world, right? IRL, this is true. Not as futile, but it is costly, time-consuming, and such. So I don't know what my character's state is in, but somehow I've managed to keep a roof over my head after 9 months of doing this. Well, I'm guessing I'm not actually working. Do I not get to meet the monster if I go to therapy? I don't know. I kind of want to see what happens if I meet the monster. Would I? I'd go to a session. I'm so fucking stubborn. I would not. Afir politely declines and heads home to continue their work. Finally, after 5 months of work, the monster's brain is complete. Cool. Afir steps back and takes a look at their work so far. The wood skeleton paired with the computer nervous system is breathtaking, but Afir notices flaws here and there. The work isn't good enough. They begin to doubt if what they're making will even come close to what they had envisioned. With the final piece, everything will coalesce or come apart. No matter. Afir isn't one to not finish what they started. All that remains is the monster's skin. The flesh will cover the monster, finally allowing it to exist in its full glory. Now, to choose the method by which they shall complete the monster: necromancy, plant magic, and mechatronics. So somehow we did ethical necromancy with the synthetic skeletons. Does this mean I use synthetic skin? Using organic skin is a classic and time-tested solution. Afir checks their notes and realizes they're going to need a lot of organic material to make this work. Find donated flesh? What do you mean find donated flesh? Huh? From who? Lab grown. Afir doesn't have any experience growing skin or skin-like material, but are confident they can get what they need with enough time and effort. Growing it themselves will allow for more control in any case, and it'll be a great learning experience. After doing some preliminary research and checking their existing notes, Afir estimates they can complete the outer layer in 3 months. On April 2nd, Afir packs a small bag. They include water, a candy bar, an umbrella, the keys, and their wallet. They take a considering look at their phone. They want to be alone today. Ooh, what am I gonna do? Okay, I also do this, but I do take the phone with me in case of emergencies, so I'll pack it, but I just might not reply. Afir throws their phone into their bag, throws their bag over their shoulder, and walks out the door. The walk to the cemetery is long, but Afir doesn't mind it. When they get there, they realize they don't know where to go. They've never been before. After a little while of meandering, they find a groundskeeper who points them in the right direction. Soon after that, they find a grave. Delaney's grave. You've never been? Does that mean you didn't go to the funeral? Afir sits down in front of the grave. They watch it silently for a while. Finally, they speak. Say hello. Hi, Delaney. Explain what they've been doing. Tell her about how they're doing. Explain what they've been doing. My friends have been working really hard to drag me out to do things besides work. It was a bit frustrating at first, but I think I appreciate it. They really care about me. I'm trying to be a better friend to them. Talk about when Delaney died. When you died, it was like everything that mattered left with you. I couldn't watch any of my favorite movies because all I could remember was watching them with you. And then I would remember you were gone. I keep forgetting that I'm a marshmallow. And then I would remember you were gone and everything would hurt all over again. Do you know how many times I picked up the phone to call you, only to remember there was no one to answer? You died a year ago, but it still hurts as much as if it happened yesterday. It was so hard without you. It's still hard now. You were so much more to me than just a friend. It felt like you fit so well into my life. Talk about the monster? What are you gonna say? The work that I'm doing, I'm building a monster. It's for you. I know it won't be you. It probably won't be anything like you. But when you died, it felt like you took a part of me with you. I'm trying to get that piece back, and I know this monster won't be able to do that. But in my heart, I feel like it could. The monster will be beautiful, and it's all for you. I hope you hate it. Make it up. Ophir wipes up their tears and gets up. They rummage in their bag, pulling out the candy bar and leaving it on top of the tombstone. Meet the lady, what the fuck? On their way home, Ophir notices their phone is ringing. It's Bella. Pick up. Hi, Bella. Hi, I just wanted to check in on how you're doing. I know today is Seder? Bella isn't their keeper. Talk about the cemetery. Ooh, I don't know. Bella's worried, and I'm refusing to go to therapy. So, I don't know. Tell her about the cemetery. I went to the cemetery today. And how did that go? She asked tentatively. Respond honestly. It was really hard, but it was nice talking to her, even if she couldn't reply. Do you want to talk about it? Bella asks. They do, or thank her for the offer and hang up. What the fuck? If it was like in the form of like avoid it, but then talk about something else, I go with that route. But like randomly hang up feels wrong as well. They do. Ophir pauses for a moment. When they speak, it feels as if they're pulling the words from deep within themselves. If it's okay, could we talk about Delaney? Of course, Bella says softly. I'll be over in a minute with some tea. Before Ophir can explain how unnecessary that is, Bella has hung up. Okay, so then I can hang up on. There's a knock on the door. She arrives soon after Ophir gets home, and the two sit and chat about Delaney long into the night. It hurts, but it's cathartic. By the time they see the sun rising outside their window, Ophir feels very slightly better. The immenseness of their loss feels like it could be surmounted one day. The following night, Ophir tosses and turns, trapped in the restless sleep of the living. They dream that they finished the monster, laying the final piece, and awakened her. She opens her eyes, and it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a face they used to know. a face they still love, distorted, repeated, and fragmented almost past recognition. Oh shit, speak to her. Hello, Afir says. I've been waiting for you. She opens her mouth to speak and fear rises, quick and clawing. What would be worse? That the monster really is Delaney or that she is not? I think it would be worse if it was. Her glaze Her glazed gaze digs into Ophir's eyes. She says you are selfish to have made me. How could you? How dare you? You inspire only hate in my full and bloody heart. Yeah, that could also be the outcome. Ophir wakes with a start, shivering and panting. They curl into themselves and don't sleep again that night. Ophir hits a hitch with their work. Frustrated, they redo the calculations and add a month to their estimated timeline. One sunny spring morning, Ophir is making coffee when they notice the tulips in the yard have begun to blossom. They remember that Corey is quite fond of tulips. Invite Corey to the tulip farm? Ophir calls up Corey. He picks up immediately. Is everything okay? Yeah, I just wanted to know if you'd like to go see tulips with me. Are you serious? Yes, I would absolutely die to go see tulips with you. My dude, maybe not the right choice of words. I'll pick you up in 20 minutes. Before Ophir has a chance to say anything, Corey hangs up. As promised, Corey shows up 10 minutes later. He plays folk rock over the drive to the tulip farm. The flowers are stunning, lined in rows of solid colors. They fill the eye, creating a world of blooms. Corey and Ophir take a few photos and pick a couple of tulips to take home with them. As they walk back to the car, Corey pulls a hand on Ophir's shoulder. I really appreciate you calling me and inviting me out. To be honest, it was hard to pull myself away from work, but this was really fun. Thank you for coming with me. Corey smiles. I hope I see you again soon. Should I not be honest? I don't know. The work has advanced well since last month's setback. Looking over the range of skin prototypes, Ophir feels good about their progress so far. Ophir's in the middle of working on a spell when their phone rings. They glance at the offending device, weighing down how much of a distraction picking it up would be. Hello? Hi, Ophir. It's Luxmi's voice. I know it's been a while and this is very last minute, but are you free today? Sure? Yeah, I've got time. Outstanding, Luxmi replies. I'm taking you painting. Painting? Luxmi meets Ophir at a park that they visited before, but not in a long while. They help her carry easels, canvases, and paints from their car. She has a spot in mind to set up, the top of a small hill overlooking a pond on one side and a small clump of trees on the other. As Luxmi sets up the easels, nerves begin to gather in Ophir's chest. Ask if they can just watch. Pretend there's an emergency and leave. I am all three of these options. Luxmi, I don't know how to paint. I can give you some pointers if you want, but why don't you just jump in and play around with it? Whatever you make doesn't need to be any specific way. Try painting something. Ophir tentatively dips a brush into some paint and begins moving it across the canvas. At first, they focus on feeling the brush stutter and slide across the surface. But soon, they try to imitate things they see. The painting ends up looking like a jumbled mess of green and blues, but Ophir kind of likes it. I don't know how to paint, like properly paint either. Luxmi walks over to take a look, smiling hugely. Looks great, she says. I feel like you're lying. Ophir thinks she's just being nice, but it still makes him smile. It really is quite a bad painting. She shows them how to wash the brushes, and Ophir sneaks a peek at her painting as they put them away. Luxmi has painted a night sky reflected in a pond. Fish jump from its waters and leaves floats along its surface. Along the edge of the pond are piles of bones. It looks nothing like the park, because she used the park as a reference. Lakshmi casts a spell that Ophir doesn't entirely follow, and the water begins to ripple very subtly. She winks at them. Compliment the painting? Well, Lakshmi, it's incredible. She smiles. Thank you. It comes with years of practice. She was never good at accepting compliments. Ophir is glad that some things haven't changed. Ophir helps pack up the easels and carrying them and the painting back to Lakshmi's car. She drops them back at home and they say goodbye with a wave. Ophir reaches a block in spell and they're crafting when a conversation with Abella comes to mind. She's been working on something that needs to be stretched but not lose its stability. Referencing her descriptions, Ophir finishes a test-ready spell formulation. A few days later, the skin patch they're working on is finally behaving the way they need. A current of excitement hums just below Ophir's skin. They can't wait to apply the spell to more of the skin tomorrow. Max barges into Ophir's apartment one July day. Ophir doesn't look up. They're far past used to their friends bursting in unannounced. Hi, Ophir. We're going to the beach. Do you want to join? I feel, right, that if they really, really, really didn't want their friends to barge in on them, they would lock the fucking door. And they haven't, so go to the beach. Sure, Ophir says, putting down the prototype they're working on. When are you leaving? Right now. Oh, okay, I don't like that. Ophir quickly packs up a small bag and follows Max outside. Abella waves at them from the passenger seat of Corey's car. I'm glad you could make it, she says. Okay, hand on my heart. I am so not one for last minute scheduling kind of stuff like this. No, I need a day or two, usually 3 minimum, prepare myself. What follows is a pleasant afternoon at the beach. Abella brought cheese for Ophir, which makes him smile. Max and Corey get into a water fight while Ophir reads a book under an umbrella and Abella's suntans. It is perfectly lovely. Once everyone is beached out, Corey drops Ophir back at home. They wave as the car pulls away. At long last, after 2 months and 1 year of work, Ophir has completed the monster. Ophir steps back to take her in. Admire her? Oh, interesting. They look upon their creation. Her skeleton is wood, her brain is computer. Her flesh is flesh with blood. Yes, she's truly beautiful. So too is an abomination. She too is an abomination. They feel... Without yet knowing her, Ophir feels a vast, deep love drowning them. They have poured themselves into her, and here she lies, waiting. Oh. Bro, I don't know if this is a good idea. Cast a final spell to awaken the monster. Stop here before it may be too late. I think you shouldn't do this. I kind of want to see what happens though, because it's a game. Cast a final spell to awaken the monster? Oh no. Ophir casts the last spell and the monster opens her eyes. She looks upon Ophir, expressionless. Speak to her? Can you speak? They ask. She shakes her head softly. She holds out her hand. Ophir takes her hand very gently. She puts her other hand on top of theirs. Ophir begins to cry. Finish the monster. Oh. Oops. Over the following months, Ophir retreats further from the world. They spend all their time with the monster, hoping she'll one day be more than she is. The monster is very kind. Ophir needs to keep reminding themselves that it's not the monster's fault. Nothing is her fault. She stays with Ophir and is patient and understanding. She's always there for Ophir, always trying to help. She's everything they wanted. Ophir's friends keep reaching out, trying to make plans, but Ophir pulls themselves further and further away. They have the monster now, and she's everything they need. How could they leave her? And yet... Everything about the monster only makes Ophir think of how she's not but a hollow imitation. The monster will never be Delaney, but Ophir will never be alone again. If Ophir feels bitterness that the monster keeps them from seeing their friends out of shame, out of horror, out of love, then they bury that feeling deep within themselves. And if Ophir feels hollow, an emptiness that grows inside them each night, they ignore it. Everything is as it should be. The fuck it is! The fuck it is! We're going back. Also, let me read this. I'm Making a Monster was developed primarily in Toronto, Canada, on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississauga? No. Miss Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa. I don't. If the developer's watching, stop watching now. The Haudenosaunee. All my accents are fucking this up. And the Wendat peoples. Toronto is covered by Treaty Number 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Okay? The rights of Indigenous people are being violated. Settler colonialism is and has been actively dismantling their connection to the land and their cultures through historic and ongoing genocide. We encourage settlers to unlearn colonial history, deconstruct their privilege, and learn about Indigenous cultures and settler responsibilities. In this way, we learn the truth of the land we live on and reject Indigenous erasure and colonial myths. We want to highlight the global land back movement, which aims to return land to Indigenous peoples. By returning land, self-governance, and environmental stewardship are returned as well. The land back movement is led by Indigenous people, and we emphasize the importance of listening to Indigenous people and following their leadership as we act towards land return and reconciliation. Some of the ideas in land back, sovereignty, caring for the land, distinct identity, are represented in the dish with one spoon wampum. What is this? In Toronto, the wampum is peace agreement between the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee, in which the land is seen as a dish that we, the spoon, share in a spirit of mutual cooperation. We ensure the dish remains full by caring for the land, its animals, and its people with the goal of mutual benefit and sustainability. And I'm Making a Monster, your character is struggling with loss, and their community tries to support them through their grief. We exist in a world of interconnectedness, and severing ourselves will only harm ourselves and others in the long term. By rejecting individualism and recognizing the importance of community, we can work towards care and understanding. This care should also be extended to the world we inhabit and share, which is just as much a part of our community. As we are responsible for caring for one another, we too are responsible for caring for the land. We work towards this by upholding the spirit and intent of the dish with one spoon, wampum, and other treaties. The game was also developed in Bangdan, Indonesia. Oh, really? Where it is hard to speak about developing great games and hard to know who to trust with one's words. We test the waters and tread lightly, employing effort where the energy feels warranted. We find community where we can and treasure it even more dearly because of it. Queer people have always existed and will never stop existing. They were here on Turtle Island before the settler colonialists arrived. Okay, sorry. We are here even when unwanted. We don't have a choice. Queerness exists whether we can speak its name or not. We remember those who have come before us, those who were killed by fascism and hate, and so will always be somewhat unknown to us. Those who fled persecution and brought their families these lands, those who built the foundations of our homes. Thank you for working towards creating a world where we can follow our dreams. Oh, what is this? Oh, these are credits. Ooh. What? Fungus Community Edition by... Or are these like references? I'm gonna go see what happens if I don't... Stop here before it's too late. A Ophir pauses, hesitating before their final spell. Creating life is a large responsibility and introduces moral quandaries they have been ignoring up until now. Does that really matter? Kind of. No sin is too great when in service to their work. They've already come this far. It would be a waste not to take the final step. But does Ophir really need the monster? Ophir has friends, good friends, who are there for them when they need them. What about Delaney? Wouldn't leaving everything in this undone, sorry state be betraying Delaney, abandoning her? And yet they know she of all people wouldn't want this. Let her go. What am I gonna do with the What am I gonna do with the body though? As Ophir gives up on completing the monster, they feel themselves letting Delaney go. It's scary and frustrating. Their heart hurts. Call a friend. Ooh. Bella? The phone rings for exactly 18 seconds. Ophir knows because they count them. Ophir? Hi, Bella. Ophir pauses for a moment. I need to talk to you about the monster. Abella promises to be over soon, and Ophir sits down on the floor. They know it'll be okay. They are friends who love them. They won't be alone. Oh. How we abandoned the monster. With the monster behind them, Ophir struggles to fill the sudden emptiness she leaves with them. Abella and other friends come and spend time with Ophir. Ophir finds it easier to be honest with them, and they seem to help stop the devouring void from overtaking them. Slowly, very slowly, Ophir discovers they can leave the monster behind. Oh. They start seeing their friends at least once a week, rejoining a schedule of alternating Saturday brunches and Friday movie nights. It can be tiring, and sometimes Ophir wants to bail on their plans, but it's also enjoyable, and Ophir can feel the way it connects them together. Each get together makes it a little easier to reach out, and time passes. Ophir finds other projects to pursue and forces themselves to rest, eat, leave the apartment. A lot of what they discover while monster making is state of the art, and Ophir learns that they enjoy sharing their findings and inventions with others. Not everything is perfect. Ophir knows things can never go back to the way they were. They can never get Delaney back, and they'll never again be who they were when she was here. But there's hope now. Ophir sees the possibility of a new version of themselves, one who's worked out the stiffness in their scar tissue and is reaching out, ready to reconnect with the world. One who's not resistant to surrounding themselves with friends and loved ones more. Man? How many endings does this have? Oh, there's... Oh, I see. I see. Those are the other endings. Okay. Give me a second. Oh. I did not save at the therapy thing. Okay, so I went along with everyone's suggestions, right? And I'm guessing there's completely different dialogue if you don't. So, do I do that to myself? I don't know if I want to do that to myself. I'm not gonna lie. How about you guys find that out on your own?